Mm-hmm.
Yep. First picture.
Wasn't he from that movie, No Holds Barred?
God damn. Is that Brian?
It wasn't the guy, or not No Holds Barred, the one where the...
I haven't changed the stream.
No, it's Jake Roberts then.
What am I thinking of?
Hi.
Over the Top. You guys ever see that movie, Sylvester Stallone?
Over the Top? Yeah, that's a good one.
The guy who drinks the oil? What was his name? It was Grizzly something or other.
The motor oil, yeah.
Hey, Google.
I don't remember.
What's that sound, man?
That was me, man.
John Grizzly.
Oh, yeah.
What?
John Grizzly.
Played by Bruce Way.
I got some sort of...
I got some, yeah. Oh, there it is. Oh.
You just had to kick it enough times, man.
Still here a little bit.
Bienvenido. Welcome to the show.
Well, nobody's perfect, Alex.
We'll make do.
How satisfied are you with live streaming on YouTube?
I mean, do we really want to go into that?
Not super satisfied, really. There needs to be a better way. It's not their fault, though.
Piece of that good gum.
I don't have it.
That peppermint shit.
The good gum.
Yeah.
Oh, I do have it. Hey, you're not eating gum on the show.
I know, but I need a piece now for before show. Show's not even started yet.
We're live.
When?
Right now.
Or live, pal.
Yeah, pal, we're live, see?
Hello.
But you know and I know that you're only half the man that I am. And I have half the brain that you do.
Yeah.
But we just a weed.
I got half the brains you do. Welcome to the show, YouTube. So exciting.
I'm
Corey,
gonna throw
did
it
you
out
do-
there on some real talk.
Yeah, don't you guys talk or anything.
Did you do the YouTube yet, Core?
Just did it.
Alright, refresh.
I'm gonna throw it out here. The death, what killed wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
What killed pro wrestling?
Professional or pro?
Professional.
Gotcha.
And my hair looks good.
What killed amateur wrestling?
That dude from Penn State. What was his name?
name's Armand. Catch him this week on Surreal Talk.
It's true.
Pizzagate 2.
Even pizza. Even cheesier.
9/11. I know a guy that saw a plane go into the Pentagon.
9/11 to 9/12.
11/9.
That's just disrespectful, Corey. Jesus.
No. That's what killed. Never mind. That was the other plane number.
Mm-hmm.
That is really loud when I did that a lot last week. I apologize.
I didn't notice.
Still loud. Moist.
Moist. We give it to, say, 2 or 3 more minutes. We start the show. Sound good to you guys?
Panties.
Make sure I got everybody here. I'm missing somebody.
Succulent.
What are you over there going on about? Your panties and succulent. Succulent panties. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm number 9, so.
All right, Mr. Smith, Mr. Hicks. I got us a post up on this Real Talk group. Hopefully draw us a little bit of goddamn traction here from the weirdos.
What'd you say over there, Boomhauer?
I said I got a post up on the Real Talk group. Hopefully draw some traction there from the weirdos, you know? You heard me?
Check. Okay, I think we're good. We got
You ain't taking my
1,
guns,
2,
Corey.
3, 4, 8,
Ah,
9,
damn.
8.
Ain't taking my guns.
It's called Liberty.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Prime from my cold dead fingers, bud.
When I was on their I was on their show talking about gun control, I said this thing, and the guy goes, he types it in on the chat. He goes, "It's called Liberty." Not that you can. He didn't actually say it. He wrote it, but I figured that's how it would sound coming out of his mouth. And boy, they loved me that day. Just a bunch of people turning it off.
Libtard.
They were having.
Yeah, Corey's the
nuts.
libtard. Corey's the
Tired
libtard.
of you having all these liberal fucks on your show.
Liberal quote unquote facts mucking everything up.
Yeah.
Dude, Jonah did the
There's a difference between truth and facts. That's all I'm saying.
There was another guy on there who would always say shit about our wrestling show. He'd say,
Fight him.
Corey's the type of guy who probably likes Arn Anderson or something.
Of
And
course.
I got into an argument. And
Somebody
I
said that to you on our chat?
No. It was on the Surreal Talk page.
That's, on the
And
group.
then,
Okay.
and then
But still.
he said another thing where I said they'll never be able to convince you. People are trying to get
you
to this.
people.
And he goes, "You people." I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So it had to be like 2 days later. He puts a post on the Surreal Talk Facebook page, and it's from unseenpedia.net. So it's
a reputable
the
rag, man.
biggest bullshit thing. And I said, so I just type under it, "Really, motherfucker? You're going to fucking challenge me on everything I say. Then you're going to post this shit in here from Unseenpedia. That's real good backup you've got." Oh,
Hey, man, that's a legit news source, man. What do you probably use that old fake media news you get on your channel?
I get on Snopes for everything.
Yeah, fake fucking news, man. You ain't taking my guns, Corey.
Unseenpedia. It only took me 7 clicks to get to the story.
And is it one of those sites where it's like a top 20 list where every single page is a separate slide?
It's a clickbait,
Right.
I hate
thing,
that.
yeah.
We need
It
those
wasn't.
ad
No,
loads.
Unseenpedia was a real thing, but it just kept taking you down one hole, down the next hole. It was a
Redirected.
fucking
Redirected.
joke.
What's TWSS mean?
What are you talking about? Is that an internet acronym?
I think so.
Let me Google it. I'm too old to know that.
I don't know it either.
It's an internet acronym.
Let's
think.
see.
That's what she said?
That's
right.
what she said. Very good.
The witch snorted snow.
She got cold nose.
She likes to go skiing. Okay.
Give it, say, 1 more minute. You guys ready? 1 more minute? Come on, guys. 1 more minute.
We going at 10:10. 2:20.
10-10 and listening in. That's CB talk for you. 10-4?
Yep.
10-1?
Check it in, Greasy Rider. You got a
Shit stain in your
what do you
eyes.
call it? What do you call a cop?
Smoky.
Got a Smoky on your rack corner there. 10-4. Oh, that 10-4 there, Greasy Rider. We got a.
This guy says, pro wrestling is huge right now. No wonder why the Three Horsemen Show is on the disco list.
What the fuck is the
Because
disco
I put
list?
on there, the Three Horsemen podcast as we discuss what killed pro wrestling, and his comment was, pro wrestling's huge right now. Not as huge as it used to be.
It's called clickbait, asshole. Why don't you try making a title?
Actually, it's not clickbait at all. That's what we're talking about today.
What are
it's
the
a
numbers?
clickbaity
What are the
title.
numbers for the current product? Do you know that? Like, what is the Monday night numbers?
2.6.
It's as down as it's ever been.
Really?
Ever.
Ever.
Stocks about the crap.
In the history of ever,
All right.
as they have sweet blood money, Saudi Arabia too.
All right, you guys ready?
See,
Hold on. There's something not quite right here. I'm not counting. This isn't counting right. There's 5 of us.
What's a disco list?
I don't know.
1,
Disco Inferno.
I know what a
burn
disco
me,
stick
burn.
is.
9, 8.
I know what a disco dick is.
I want to take a ride on your disco stick.
That's all there is, right?
Last time I checked.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's good. We're good. All right, you guys ready? And we're starting.
do it.
Deal.
Yeah, this is totally not the right thing.
What do you mean?
It sounded right. It sounded all too familiar. but,
That's our theme song, Surreal Talk.
God damn
At this
it.
point, you might as well just put on the Val Venus theme.
Oh shit.
Are you guys
Hello,
ladies?
ladies?
Are you guys
Wow.
ever changing your theme song?
Why?
Yeah, why? You think it needs
welcome to Surreal Talk.
Look inside the world of cults, conspiracies,
and fucking
and the
lies.
paranormal.
Oh, all right.
lineupmedia.fm.
Are you telling me there's not pyramids in Antarctica?
Look inside unseenpedia.net.
Unseenpedia.
The real news.
Hey, Alex, give me a real quick try on your audio on your laptop.
Hang on a sec.
Sure thing. Just want to make sure here. Yeah, I thought it was a little weird, but I didn't hear the glass break.
Is that it?
Just a little more adjust. There we go. All right. Cool. You can go ahead and stop, and I'm going to start the music. Ready, set, and maybe. Why is this fucking not working?
Is our glass already broken?
Yeah, there's glass already broke.
I think we've dropped thousands of friends. No, I'm just kidding.
Sorry, guys. I'm a shit producer. I'm no Brian.
Hey, you're doing great.
No. No, I'm not. Why the fuck won't this delete? Delete, you bitch.
Delete.
That's enough.
Delete.
That's enough Matt Hardy.
Delete.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this?
Maybe. How you doing this morning, T.O.?
Sorry.
You don't look like you feel too well.
Thinking about going pooping before.
Yeah, it's only been 3 weeks.
Yeah. And I'm unable to shake that cold, eh?
I feel fine. Kid's just fucking really sick.
There we go. How is your kid doing, dude?
She's gotta go to. We have a thing set up Friday at Children's with a pulmonary specialist.
Oh man, it sucks. Well,
Yeah.
good luck. All right, here we go. This time for real.
The following podcast is scheduled for one fall, and there will be no disqualifications. Making their way to the ring from lineupmedia.fm at a combined weight of 849 pounds, the Three Horsemen.
It's fucking beautiful. I don't care. That's a good thing.
I do my best. Hey, welcome to the Three Horsemen Show. It's October 16th. It's a Tuesday morning. I don't know when you'll be listening to this. Hopefully before fucking Friday. I'm Corey, your host. We got Alex. We got T.O. We got Eric. We got Big Easy. We're here to talk actually, we got a bunch of stuff to talk about today. Gentlemen, what goes on? How goes it?
Good.
It goes, pal.
It goes. You always ask us how we're doing. How are you doing?
How am I doing?
That's none of your business, Alex.
Say amazing.
If you're watching on YouTube, first off, thank you. You can see I have my Notre Dame pullover on, undefeated in the top 5, top 4, which is what you need to get in the playoffs. But that's how my day's going. But we've got a bunch of things to get to. Don't forget, Facebook.com/Three Horsemen Show. See, we should actually update these if I'm going to keep plugging them.
Yeah, I'm going to update those.
Okay, Twitter.com
3 days till never.
/Three Horsemen Show. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to get on and do it. I don't know what we do. YouTube.com.
Get you a crayon.
The Three Horsemen. Type it all out. And go download Yo Radio. The Yo Radio app. YoRadio.com is where you want to go to do that. You can listen. You hear me talk about it every week. So go download it. Got the app. You can listen to 8,000 channels on there. There's a bunch of them. The lineup channel is where we will be featured. One day we'll be live on there. I don't know what day that will be.
TBD.
TBD. Okay, so let's just jump into shit. First off, I know T.O.'s going to want to talk about Saudi Arabia. I want to talk about Saudi Arabia, what's going on with the current product. Even though I don't know much about it, I do know that they're going to be in Saudi Arabia soon. And even though we don't talk politics on this show, they may come into play here. And I apologize, because I don't like to talk politics.
You're not known for that. Politics and
Right.
So what are they doing in Saudi Arabia, T.O.?
Making a shit ton of money.
Oh, well, hell yeah. Can I go?
What are they getting paid?
I think it's 10 years, $250 million. It might be $1 billion deal. I mean, I've heard different numbers.
Well, the big controversy, and one we were looking at it last week, and it had to do with William Morris endeavors, of course.
It's $1 Million Man and Virgil.
I understand. This is how podcasts work. I'm getting shown pictures of the $1 Million Man with Donald Trump's face.
Say $1 Million Trump. I saw that earlier.
Kanye is Virgil. T.O. worked in radio before he got into this. So they're going to do this crown jewel event in Saudi Arabia. There's already, number one, there's a conflict of interest with everything that's going on. If you know about Khashoggi, the political, he writes for WAPO, Washington Post, and he was kidnapped and killed. They're concocting a story over in Saudi Arabia right now.
Can you take it a step back further real quick, though?
Go ahead.
The Saudi government and the way they treat their people and how inhumane they are, how they treat women, it's completely contradictory to everything the WWE is trying to shove down.
Claims to be, right.
Yes, trying to shove down the throats of fans and viewers. It's, you know, we're having this women's evolution, but women can't perform.
Which is hilarious.
It's just asinine. They're fucking whores.
Well, yeah, but you know what? You know what'll change the WWE's mind on that, right? Like $1 billion.
Exactly.
Like well, I mean, leave the women at the house for $1 billion.
Well, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago before this even
before
happened.
Khashoggi was murdered.
Yeah, and I told T.O. I was like, you wait. They're gonna completely renege on this contract. I said it'll go max 2 years because the world's, I don't know, just with how the world is currently with constantly evolving political relations with other countries continues to change on a daily basis. So why would you sign a 10-year deal with any foreign country for any event, period? It just doesn't make sense to me.
I'm with you.
I mean, I get the money aspect of it, but at the same time, it's like, why Saudi Arabia? I mean, why not? Well, okay, I get why.
Well,
but
that's what we're going to get into.
$1 billion.
That's what we're going to get into.
I get that, but it's just, if you sign that ahead of time, like, is there something in that contract that says, well, we can back out at any time, depending on X, Y, and Z political relationship, whatever, if something falls apart, but we still get paid?
There's always outs in that, but I doubt they get paid. The problem is the Saudi government, they have so much fucking money, it doesn't matter. I mean, they're just like, oh, well, but they've had issues with Richard Branson had taken $1 billion investment from them, and he pretty much told them to shove it up their ass. Like, since the story that Corey is talking about happened. Which Virgin Mobile, he's, big time entrepreneur, entertainment guy. So, they'll just move to something else or some other morally bankrupt company and throw money at them. Maybe John Cena will do a bunch of movies for him. I don't know. But it's just, I mean, they're not even trying to be, like, the only way they're not going to do this is if Donald Trump tells them not to go. I've heard it on 3 different podcasts now that, they still promoted it last night.
But they didn't promote the location, supposedly. That's what I read. I didn't watch it.
Well, still the crown jewel of Saudi. I mean, they're still promoting being there. They're still promoting.
No, I get that. But supposedly, I didn't watch. So if someone that's watching or listening knows differently, please correct me.
They changed venues.
They changed venues, but they specifically, I guess, on the broadcast last night, specifically did not mention Saudi Arabia.
Oh, whoa. I didn't see this. Endeavor's pulling out of the Saudi Arabia deal? I'm sorry. They're the parent company of UFC.
Breaking news.
No. This was yesterday. I hadn't seen it. Endeavor.
I haven't John Cena it either.
Hold on.
Can't see it.
Endeavor's the parent company of William Morris Endeavors in UFC. They pulled out of their $400 million deal with Saudi Arabia. So basically, WWE's the last man standing. They're it.
Huh.
They might get more money.
$1 billion.
I did not know that. But that's a big deal because somebody had just bought stock, and I can't even pull up the tweet that had they had just bought stock in William Morris Endeavor, which has to do with all this. Okay, the main thing is that Linda McMahon is his housing...
Small business.
Small business, yeah.
Jesus, housing. That's what's his name?
That's something else I'll try to take
Dipshit
before
Ben
long.
Carson. The point is she's in charge of their small business thing. Small business thing.
You know, because nothing
Good
screams
God.
small business like WWE.
Yeah. Well, don't worry. We'll get to that today. But they've got all these conflicts of interest involved in where they're going. Linda McMahon's in his cabinet, is in Trump's cabinet.
Mm-hmm.
He's defending them because of the weapons deal they just pulled off, whatever. He's saying we're not going to pull out of it because too much money is going to be spent. All these people in all these companies is going to cost all these jobs. And now he goes out yesterday and says,
Who's he, by the way?
Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
Fuck.
I didn't know if you were say his name.
It hurts. He goes out and says, oh, you know, they denied it pretty strongly, and we find out later in the day that they're concocting a story to say this is an interrogation that went wrong. They brought a bone saw and something went wrong.
Bone saw is ready.
So they kill a reporter. They and he's going to come out and say, oh, that we just went to interrogate him.
Yes.
And it's obviously a lie. And the WWE is going to be the last man standing in all this. This is going to be the absolute worst publicity they can get. If they survive this, actually, what's it take to survive this? Going over there and putting on a show.
Yeah, they'll be all right.
I mean, people will watch the network. It'll do what it's always done. It's not like anybody has any. They've tried to hashtag WWE cancel Saudi Arabia.
Well, the thing is, they've shortened up the roster list that's going over. They have 8 wrestlers going for the tournament. They'll have 3 matches from that. They have the tag team match. They have Lesnar, the 3-way championship match, whatever. Lesnar coming back. Michaels coming back.
Lesnar's going over? Oh, yeah. There's a shot.
Did you see the
He's not
story
letting his
that
principles get in the way, huh?
Did you see the story that SI ran about supposedly talents
not wanting to go?
Just not comfortable with going
Yeah.
over there? Like
Sami Zayn?
Why?
They didn't say who, but my guess is just with everything we've just said. I mean, down to the quote unquote inhumane treatment of
Journalists. Oh, women too.
Sami Zayn's real name is Remy Sabai, if you didn't know.
So he doesn't feel comfortable going over and not coming back?
No. He might meet a bone saw if he goes over there because he's Syrian, my friend. Syrian Canadian. He didn't go to the first one. He didn't perform in the first one.
I didn't know he was still with them.
Yeah, he's hurt.
What, was he coming down to the ring again? Threw his shoulder out of socket?
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, it happens to none of us.
Yeah.
So ultimately, do you think they go?
Oh, yeah, they're going.
At this point, they have to.
Financially, they have to. They can't afford to pay Shawn Michaels $3 million.
I read somewhere that if they, at this point, I forgot. I think it was like as of Sunday or something like that. As far as like the financial aspect of it, they would lose like $30-some million.
Yeah, their stock went down to, I'm looking at the last 5 days.
82?
No, it actually bottomed out at $78.79.
What's their historical high?
The historical high was $96.
So they're about 25% down.
I thought they got to like 113.
I thought they were in the hundreds at some point.
I'm on right here at
20%.
9. So it says here, maybe that was just for the day. Let's see what the one year high.
Okay, so do you think it goes lower if they go to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, it's showing $96.70. No, because so much of the business depends on that now. That dictates the stock price. People see that they have all this money coming in, so people buy shares. They do this, but what's going to be the telltale sign is if they all start selling off stock. If Triple H unloads it. Their VP.
You mean like they did the last time?
Their VP or someone that was high at the company sold off 400,000 shares a couple weeks ago.
Damn.
Wow.
Times $80 roughly a share. Probably was a little bit more before he did that, but
I mean, it's just.
I could have sworn I just read the other day that William Morris Endeavors had bought stock in WWE. Or maybe it was one of their top investors had bought. But anyway.
Probably fired if he did that.
Probably, well. Yeah.
Just real quick, as far as like you just mentioned the stock price, and again, not to change topics too much, but when is SmackDown supposed to move over to Fox? Because that's the reason it.
2019. It's sometime in 2019.
So it's
I
not
want to say March.
It's not this year.
No.
Okay, I'm just thinking like even if the stock tanks now, it's gonna go right back up as soon as it goes live on Fox.
Trying to find a date.
I don't see that. That's my thing. The Fox thing is interesting to me because is Fox just gonna be okay with a shitty product that we've had for 10 years, if not longer?
I mean, they signed on the dotted line knowing what the product is.
But they wanted out of the deal with the UFC. They had the surplus of money. They pretty much swapped UFC for that because they thought UFC had reached its cap as far as popularity and growth. And their numbers for the UFC were dog shit. Nobody watches Tough. Nobody can find the shows they have on there. So they were very disappointed with the deal with UFC. This is a completely different beast, though. This is going on Fox.
Not FSN or whatever.
No, Fox, who airs Family Guy, who airs. I mean, they're not airing
Last Man Standing. I mean,
but they're not airing PG shit. This is
back.
They're gonna air PG stuff on primetime on Fox? No way. I mean, there's fucking stuff that goes on Modern Family that is more adult oriented than wrestling now. It is. I mean, they could show that shit on Nickelodeon. Mm-hmm. It is that tame. Now, last night, Ronda Rousey, pretty much called Nikki Bella a whore for sleeping her way. I mean, like, they let certain people step outside that framework. And
scandalous.
Yeah, but, I mean, it is.
So she called her a whore on TV?
Did she say that word, whore?
It's not 1998.
No, she said something along those lines. Whore,
slap puppy,
bitch.
They do enough to where they dance around stuff enough to where like they don't actually verbally,
What's Rhonda wearing these days? Is she looking good or no?
She looks the same.
Yeah,
just average girl if you see her.
The eye makeup is what kills her whole thing for me.
They've toned that down a little bit.
Even
they brought back two legends like the Bellas and called them whores.
Yeah, she said last night the reason you've made it through the company is knocking down doors to John Cena and Daniel Bryan's hotel rooms.
Wow, got him,
man!
But they were in Philadelphia and the crowd popped for it. So I mean, it was okay. It wasn't.
That's something to say to a girl who's married to him. Anyway, what are you gonna say?
Well, especially when there's rumors that Ronda Rousey was fucking Dana White. And, I mean,
really?
Yeah.
Who's
behind the scenes shit?
Real quick, who's a bigger? I mean, I despise both of them. Who's worse, McMahon or Dana White?
Ooh. What do you mean by worse?
What's
worse?
Yeah, we gotta
in what sense?
Elaborate a little
Go
bit.
ahead. Shit. I mean, who's worse? Who's a bigger piece of shit?
Dana White.
Dana White's a carbon copy of Vince McMahon.
Yeah, because he stole he stole the Vince McMahon
and
plan.
Honestly, he's fake Diesel. He holds people down. He does.
He holds people down?
He's a vindictive.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Dude, Dana White's a vindictive fuck.
And he plays a lot of
favoritism.
Yeah.
He
That's true. Vince McMahon's never done any of that stuff.
No, I'm just saying he actually decides who fights and what they make and contracts and giving under the table bonuses. Like that guy dictates what you walk with home at the end of the night.
Are you being dead serious now?
I'm telling you, he's way worse than Vince McMahon. The shit he's done. There's guys that actually have fucking talent that deserve to fight for a championship that he just doesn't give them the time. I mean, doesn't give them the time.
Let me ask you this, Tim.
That's true. No, he did make John Jones dance to the ring that time. I forgot.
Now, you're talking about stereotypes and the shit that he's had. They write stuff. They are writers.
Do they?
Oh, WWF does. This is real talent. This is real talent. You can hold people down with real talent in the WWF, but when someone's beating the fuck out of someone and bloodies him and beats him to a pulp, and then all of a sudden he's making $30,000 his next fight against some Joe Blow because they don't want to push him because he can't talk on the mic.
Letting ring boys get fucked in the parking lot of the Philadelphia Spectrum.
No, we're talking about business shit. I mean, like
I'm talking about all around.
All around, Vince is
Dana White's a fucking jerk off.
Yeah, there's no.
He is a fucking jerk
no,
off.
but if you're talking about everything, Vince McMahon's way worse. I just thought you meant as running a business and as far as talent.
You don't think Vince McMahon has hurt talent throughout the years? Come on.
Let me ask you this, T.O. Has Dana White ever pulled a Montreal screw job?
No, I mean, it's just his daily life fucking guys over.
I think that's it. I think we got to the end of it.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, it is. It's some shit.
That's our that's next week's show, Dana White versus Vince McMahon.
There you go. We'll make an infographic.
I just despise both of them to the hilt. Never thought much of it. Anyway.
I mean, but how many ladies is Vince name? I mean, like, he controls pushes, too. I get that. But in something that's real, like MMA, to where you can't really dispute talent.
Oh, I thought you meant WWE, yeah.
There's been people held back in that manner, and that's what's kind of fucked up from and when I look at it.
So who's better then?
I mean, they're both promoters. Promoters are scumbags.
Who's better?
Yeah, who's the better promoter?
There's never been a normal promoter. All promoters are sleazeballs.
Now you got a nice pool to pick
Bob Arum's a sack of shit. I'd fucking drill Oscar De La Hoya with my knee right in his face if I could. I hate him.
Who's the better
Go on.
Who's the better promoter? Now, Dana White doesn't have a list of just absolutely wasting money and blown opportunities, blown movie productions, blown football leagues, blown bodybuilding federations.
This is fair.
I mean, the list is actually pretty long.
Okay, so
I got a list as long as my
hair.
It's pretty long.
Forearm.
1,004 holds.
Yes. So I mean, it's worth a discussion, but I guess we won't get to all of it today. But anyway. Thought we'd bring that up, but we're here to talk about what killed professional wrestling.
I just want to ask the end question right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
Who says it's dead? Let's ask the question here. Is professional wrestling dead? Has it been killed?
In my eyes, yes.
Okay, that's all that matters.
As we know it.
That's another good way to put it.
Because I don't think you have wrestling anymore. It's sports entertainment.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, you can kind of point to when they started referring to it as sports entertainment. I mean,
that was long before, though, it died in my eyes. It's been sports entertainment for, what, 20 years now?
Well, one company called it that.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they all kind of call it that now, huh?
Yes, all one of them.
All one of them.
Yeah, all, you got WWE also.
And then you got WWE, and then WWE.
We'll start it off with E. Big Easy, what killed professional wrestling?
I would say just uninteresting wrestlers.
Oh, you changed it. Okay. I thought you would have a canned response, and you didn't bring the canned response I was expecting.
What was it? What were you expecting?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, no, I would say for me it was just uninteresting wrestlers. They had shit, angles between them. They couldn't work the mic right. Uninteresting physiques. Not that I'm there to look at beefcakes like Mac from Always Sunny, but I don't know. I just found I started to get really uninteresting around 2004. You get this next generation, so to speak, in from John Cena on. I just couldn't relate anymore. Just couldn't do it.
So you are talking about the lack of push and lack of build in professional wrestlers. So why or what made them better? And this always goes back to being a kid, but we were kids, and that's fine. So what made guys so much more interesting when we were younger or when professional wrestling was booming?
Well, for me, I can answer real quickly. We weren't watching real people. We weren't watching John Cena, the wrestler. We had Ricky Steamboat, for instance, as a real guy that was wrestling. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, we had larger-than-life people that we were putting on a show.
Characters.
Yes,
characters.
Not John Cena, the character, which is boring. I'm an ex-Marine. That's my character. You can't see me. It's like, I'm done with you, pal. If you're gonna go out there and be real fake, I don't like it. If you're gonna go out there and be fake, there we go. I don't know. Just that's it for me.
I can live with that one, and I agree. They had much more color. Kevin Nash tells about never mind. Kevin Nash tells the story of his first road trip, and he goes into the gym, and he's got Dutch Mantell sitting there reading the Wall Street Journal, the Iron Sheik putting like 135 pounds on the bench and doing like 4 reps and getting up saying, all right, I'm good. A couple other guys just milling around the gym, and he's like, this is professional wrestling. It's all characters. Everybody's different. Fat guys, big muscular guys, guys that are hairy, guys that look deformed or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Some that wear face paint, and now long greasy hair or Or I guess like a buzz cut is basically you're down to 2 guys.
Or you got the really, really big barrel-chested fuckers. You know what I mean? Your Braun Strowman types. They got a bunch of those type of guys, too.
Yeah, not as many as they used to.
Fair enough. But, I mean, you really got your 2 archetypes.
I just thought of something else.
I was going to say that professional wrestling died for me when they lost the ability to hold an interesting story, like a storyline that would suck you in. Like you used to get sucked into. I used to get sucked into these storylines. Like they were interesting. I was worried about what was going to happen. Not worried, but I was interested to find out what was going to happen next week. And I don't know.
You were worried
for what? Yeah, there you go. Some cases. Oh man, but
is Stone Cold going to be okay?
Yeah, his knee is messed
up. Did he really get fired?
He's been wearing that knee brace for 7 years.
So was it the storylines or you that changed?
I mean, that's a good point. I mean, I don't know, but
is it really the wrestling business or your fault?
Well, I mean, eat tomato, tomato. It's dead for me. So, but yeah, the storylines weren't interesting anymore. I don't know. They weren't. They didn't pull me in like they used to.
Yeah, and depending on what you watched, any territory would have. This is going to go way beyond the pale, but AWA would run 3 angles a year between their top guys. 3 angles the whole year, and that's what they would run. You go down to Florida or Mid-South, everybody's got something. That's why people talk about the glory days of the late 90s being so big. Like, everybody had a storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at, let's go to
Hugh Morris.
October of 97.
Oh.
You got Pillman and Goldust in an angle with Marlena. You've got Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, Mankind turning into whatever he was. You got Stone Cold becoming Stone Cold. You got the Nation of Domination, The Rock's coming up. You've got Bret Hart and the whole Canada versus United States thing. It was just so many things were happening.
What's interesting, too, is the amount of what you consider top talent these days that were more or less mid-card relegations back in those days. Back whenever who we considered to be the best were just another wrestler, that's when it was fun.
Right, but going back to what you said, they don't push guys anymore.
True.
They don't give guys that shot. They bring back people from 20 years ago, from when we liked it, to get over, or not even get other people over, to be the main event, which doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they had done that in 1998? Here comes Harley Race and Jack Briscoe out to wrestle for the main event on fucking Raw.
Yeah, we would have rioted.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been a main event. They did that shit.
Special guest referee Bob Backlund.
They did not bring Harley Race and Jack Briscoe back to wrestle in the main event.
No, not main event, but Jack Briscoe came back, didn't he?
Jerry
Briscoe.
Yeah, his brother. Close enough.
He didn't. Okay, well, he wrestled, but not in a serious capacity. They did it for comedic purposes.
Right, and that's what he's saying. Like, if they were to bring him back for a main event, that would have been stupid. We'd have been pissed about that.
Right.
Well, there's no way you could get away with it, but now it's just, I don't know. It's how people have grown up. It's a lot of things. I'm going to give you one. Sports medicine. Advances in sports medicine have killed professional wrestling. Now, let me tell you why.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Back in the day, guys would wrestle hurt. Guys would wrestle with a concussion. Guys would wrestle with blown out knees, blown out shoulders. They tell stories about guys pushing hemorrhoids back into each other's asses in the locker room so they could go talk about guys. What happens when you get your nuts cut?
That's called circumcision.
No.
Oh, God, no. Vasectomy.
That's vasectomy. Guys that have a vasectomy.
Oh,
Wahoo
yeah,
McDaniel's
shit, I'm
getting a
wrong.
vasectomy and wrestling that night. Now, guys miss extended periods of time, and this started back in the 90s. But Steve Austin goes and gets his neck. I think that's when a lot of people checked out. Is when Austin broke his neck. He had to go get the fusion surgery to change everything. And that killed them in 99, even though they did have their biggest year ever in 2000, technically, by the books. But sports medicine changed so many things. Concussions, people getting surgery when they're hurt, people not wrestling through injuries, like I was saying earlier. That really hurt their business, as opposed to back in the day when everybody would go through whatever you had to do to get in the ring. Because you had to get paid.
Right.
And it hurts. So what you're saying is it kind of goes to hurt the consistency of the product. Whenever you've got guys that, for the most part, would rather or have to sit out after a 3-month hotspot because they've rolled their ankle, and just they can't keep up with their fire. You know what I mean? Their push is not sustained through small injuries anymore like it used to be.
Exactly. And it's not a bad thing. I'm not saying, oh, the performers are pussies or anything now. People have gotten smarter. There have been advances in technology.
The company's more careful with them. They didn't give a shit back then.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's the point he's making.
Yeah, it's a company. It's not a promotion that just has, wheeling guys in for 3 months, sending them back to Portland, sending them back to Florida, go to Memphis, go here, go there. We don't care what you do out of here. We need you on the card tonight. You got to get paid. But that is one thing that has definitely hurt I don't know if it killed it, but it's definitely one of the things that contributed to the downfall of the business.
So, and you just mentioned what I was going to say. My answer was not that this killed it, but this put it damaged it quite a bit, in my opinion, was when we lost the territories. I mean,
very much so.
I feel like that put a damage to it, but then what really kind of put the nail in the coffin was whenever you could just jump on Yahoo, Google, whatever, and see, okay, well, they just spoiled the entire card for me, so. There's
a timeline. I mean, I think there's, like you said, I think that's one of them. I think the internet, the evolution of the internet, no competition for WWE, Benoit. I mean, I think it was a series of events that just kept cutting at the knees. Cutting at the knees.
I think you're definitely right with the lack of competition, too. That's got to be a big deal. Whenever they didn't have to compete with WCW, I mean, they
get
don't
sloppy.
have the same motivation to create these storylines and next level shit if you don't have to go against what somebody else is doing.
And when you think about it, what ultimately changed WWE and how they ran their business? The Monday Night Wars, the competition from WCW. It was a reaction to that.
They were forced.
What they're doing right now is the same cartoony shit they did from 90 to 94 or whatever, or 90 to 94, whatever the time is.
Because they can.
Yeah, because there's nobody there.
There's nobody chasing you.
They're trying to create these Hulk Hogan-like guys with Roman Reigns, and people just don't fucking like them. Well, back in the day, if they didn't like the guy you're trying to get over, push someone else.
Switch the gimmick.
There was also a bunch of monsters at that time. You could afford to turn someone heel because you had so many guys that could step in and be that big baby face.
Stars.
They don't have that now. They can't. I mean, they should have turned Reigns a long time ago. They can't do that because they don't feel like they have someone that they can put up to be the big baby face, to be the face of the company at that time. And if they simply would have done that 5 years ago, Roman Reigns would be over now and be a bigger star. But they don't have to. They can just say, all right, this is what we're doing. Oh, you want to go watch All In? New Japan. Have fun finding that Friday night at 11 o'clock, which the results because it's been on the internet. Anything that's competitive with them that's on, nothing really airs live. I think Impact might. I don't even know if it does. So, I mean, it's a combination of things.
It's definitely a combination, but these all contribute.
So what about the network?
What about the network?
Do you think that's had any impact in, damaging their business?
No, I think it's helped them.
It's helped their
tremendously.
You don't think that it would have been wise for them?
Well, okay, let me explain a little further. What I'm getting at is you can go on the network and watch whatever, and we've talked about this before. You can basically, what's the word? You can rip the video and the audio and just post it. I mean, you can post it to YouTube. Probably wouldn't last too long, but then you can Daily Motion or
there's hundreds streamable.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of places.
Vimeo.
So I mean, ultimately, it's like I don't have the network anymore because you can go on any of these sites and find what you need. I mean, granted, it might be like a sped up or slowed down version of the audio, so it's technically, I guess it gets past copyright or something. Right. I don't know how that works.
You get old
exactly.
WW or WCW shows on the network.
Oh yeah,
you can get anything. You can get anything and everything on the network.
Not anything and
Raws ever.
Well,
they got every Monday Night Raw ever on there, and every Nitro ever on there.
Yes,
they got
They've got they've got old school ECW. They've got territories.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they had WCW.
Oh hell yeah, own it.
I know. I did. That's badass.
So.
This is a WWE Network.
I was just
promo.
say, remember to take WWENetwork.com.
And where can I get that at?
Use the promo code 3 Horsemen to save 10% on your first 3 months.
No, if anything, I think the network has been one of their saving graces and where they've made a lot of money.
But do you think long term it might bite them in the butt because you can have the ability to rip the video and audio and post it elsewhere and just get it for free?
That's the same thing any other company's dealing with, though, is the whole piracy issue. From UFC to WWE to HBO.
No, I know. I'm indifferent on this. I could see it going either way. I was asking what you guys think.
So I would have to wonder if by making it so available, and I know there's other places to get it, but do you take away some of the magic? You know what I mean? It used to be it wasn't so easily accessible. I think that again with the age of the internet, with all of the internet wrestling rags and becoming so taking the magic away, pulling the curtain back. I think that hurt it a lot too. Whenever it became less of a everything was kayfabe, whenever it stopped being, this isn't fake.
Absolutely.
It got a lot.
We're running through these. I've got stuff I want to go back to.
What you got, man?
We can throw shit at the wall and do it that way. Pulling the curtain back is a huge one. Telling people how it worked, and that really hurt them. Like, they'll say, oh, everything was at top notch, 99, 2000, 2001. When they were doing those shows on NBC and things like that, showing them how they bladed or how a guy takes a backdrop, that still hurts. Yep. I mean, people still had a little bit of, I'm going to watch every week. Yeah, these guys, that shit's fake, but these guys are really going at it. So it happened. I mean, obviously it happened way back with Eddie Mansfield back in 84, 85. I can't remember the 2020 special. I think it's 85. But that stuff still hurts because you still had a good audience, actually a great audience at that time. It was at its peak in terms of WCW and WWF going head-to-head, and you can count ECW if you want. But when they really pulled the curtain back and what Big E was talking about, the internet, how much did the internet hurt at that time, starting in, 98,
97?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'd say at the start it was great. It increased a lot of communities out there and got people really interested, and the product was on fire right then as well. But with the doling of the product right around the turn of the century and people getting used to the internet and a lot of more secrets coming out, I think that was really the beginning.
Yeah. See, it didn't hurt in case you missed a show, but the quicker the internet speeds got, the worse it was for the product, I thought, because you could see things instantly. They couldn't tape shows anymore. They couldn't not go live with everything. WWE continued to do it and ended up winning out, but you wouldn't have to watch anymore, especially when we get to 03, 04, 05. I mean, internet speeds only got faster and faster and faster, and then it all of a sudden just became instant.
YouTube was a thing at that point.
Yeah, I don't think that I don't know how much YouTube hurt, and this will
it
go
didn't
back
hurt
to,
at the beginning, but what it was like one of the little pieces that contributed to it. You know what I mean? It was just the start of it. When you start taking out the smarks, you know what I mean? You get them uninterested, then you're in trouble. Whenever you overload with all the available information, it's less interesting.
Yeah, but you could also say that the internet has almost saved the older generation of wrestling, because so many guys have been able to make a living off of it and keep the old memories going, or keep that age fan wanting to go to StarCast and wanting to listen to Bruce Pritchard talk about the old days and Tony Schiavone talk about the old days and whoever. I mean, who doesn't have a podcast now?
How long do you think this lasts?
I don't.
This age of the old guy coming out telling the tale. How long do you think we're still interested? Our people, the people that they're going for. 10 more years, if that.
Man, the way things move
say
now.
2.
More importantly than that, how long before this John Cena's of this generation transition to that role where they're fucking coming back and talking about
We're already there.
the good old days, you know what I mean? Like that generation's there.
I'd say so.
I mean, we're talking about the older, like 80s and 90s having the podcast now, like the wrestlers that were popular in the 80s and 90s, you know what I mean? They're the ones that
Very much so.
They're the ones that are coming out speaking about how things were and stuff. Like, how long are we before the 2000s come out?
Well, if podcasts have proved one thing, it's that the Attitude Era is what everybody wants to know about.
100%.
I mean, we talk about going behind the curtain. That's what everybody wants to know, what was going on back then.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason is because, like you said earlier, there were so many storylines going on at that point that there wasn't necessarily one or two things like there is now, like main storylines that you're interested in. Like, because like you said, the Pillman Goldust angle was a good example. I was into that.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't, it was technically the mid card at that point, but it was still good TV.
Right. And there's a reason Steve Austin has a show and Coco Beware doesn't. There's a reason that
poor Frankie,
you get
Eric
disqualified.
There's a reason Eric Bischoff's doing a show and it's not Brian Gewirtz or whoever
Bill
you want
Watts.
to pick to be a
Barry Horowitz.
Bill Watts. Good there. Thank you, E. Bill Watts or Greg Gagne. Keep bringing up AWA probably because you never mention it. T.O. brought up a good one too. And I don't think you can discount Owen Hart. I think that hurt too. But Benoit, that really hurt him.
Owen Hart was the first one to die in a ring in a long time, or ever maybe?
Not ever.
Not ever, but maybe long time, or... I'm asking, this is a question, not a statement here,
I think
Corey.
that was the first time it happened on a live event that was...
Major?
Of the scale that WWF was at that time.
Iron Mike DiBiase had a heart attack in the ring. I'm not sure if he died, and that's Ted DiBiase's dad.
Dad?
So Ted, money.
Yeah.
His dad.
No, I know who.
Well, I'm not sure if you knew who Iron Mike DiBiase was.
No, Ted, the way you described him, money. No,
well, there's Ted DiBiase. There's another one, Junior.
Oh, he's got a son now.
Oh, Lord. We've landed on the moon.
It's 1969. No, I didn't know his son wrestled, man.
Anyway.
New product sucks. What are you going to do?
I went to the event the night after Owen Hart died. I think that really hurt them in the long term because that hadn't happened. Yes, they did great business after that, but it's kind of like the finger poke of doom for WCW. That hurt them in ways that you didn't see immediately.
There was a lot of curtain pull back on that thing, too, though. Every time a wrestler dies, though, there's a lot of that same thing.
Well, yeah, because everybody was so many crazy things were happening at that time on both channels. And obviously we're talking about this is when wrestling died. I mean, even though T.O. said, when the sports entertainment part, that was a problem. That happened in '89 because they didn't want to pay the commission, the state or the sports commission, which is fair and understandable. But Benoit, how bad did that hurt?
The thing with Benoit wasn't just another guy. He was a star, first of all, but
favorite.
He was also like an underground guy. The people had championed him from his days in WCW in the mid-'90s, the middle portion of the 90s, 96, 97.
He was a very good wrestler.
But that's the thing. He had...
You could almost equate him, not quite, but close to
Daniel
the Daniel
Bryan?
Bryan of now.
Yeah, I mean, he had the underground fans that weren't, the marks loved him. And then the hardcore fans loved him. Then when he got over, he became a mainstream guy. He was on NBC talk shows. I mean, he did some of that stuff. He wasn't good at it, but, they had him go do the shows. But then...
Off the record.
The way they painted him as this great family man and had his kid in the ring with him and had his wife in there.
Yeah, but I don't
everybody
think
knew his wife from being in the business.
It wasn't really the way they painted. It was the way everybody talked about him.
Well, I was about to say, newscasts covered the crap out of it, and not only just that situation, but then they went back to other wrestlers that had also died. This long list of guys that, drug use, overdose,
and that's
whatever.
the thing. It became a huge. You had them taking any interviews they could, so they were getting bitter ex-wrestlers on there, motherfucking everyone. Everybody's on steroids. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's doing that. Then, like you said, they bring up all the deaths that, in reality, had nothing to do with what Benoit did. I mean, the guy. I've seen reports that when they did the study of his brain, it was of an 86-year-old dementia patient.
Which is, again, why I mentioned how much sports medicine has changed the business.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
I agree. But it has killed.
But
it has killed
pain
off
pills
a lot of
didn't cause him to kill his fucking wife and kid. Steroids did not cause him to kill his wife and kids. that was the narrative they took. That was, and I mean, it just shattered everything. I mean, if you remember, they were doing the angle that McMahon died on the. Remember, right before that, and then that was it. No more. I mean, it was pretty much, boom. We've got to get in the good lights of the public. We can't. I mean, drug testing came back like I mean.
So how did it?
Physiques changed.
The question is. And see, this is why I was going to bring up.
And
when
I watch wrestling, I don't want to see guys that are smaller than me in there.
I agree.
And it's not one of those things where you're there to look at the bodies, but when you're a kid, these guys were larger than life.
That's exactly what I was saying
they were
earlier,
ass
man.
kickers. I think that if I saw Daniel Bryan, I might slap the shit out of him and then beat his ass. I mean, like, and I'm saying
judo.
No, but I'm saying he would kick my ass. But like, those guys aren't believable tough guys anymore. And not that the big guys were tough, but at least they looked the part. It sold. CrossFit Jesus. I mean, fucking Seth Rollins looks like a middle infielder.
He's a small dude, man. They're all small. CM Punk is a small guy. Not that he's wrestling anymore.
I might be able to beat his ass for real.
Oh, I'm sure you could.
I've seen enough of him.
We're saying small. These guys are like 6'2".
6'2", 180.
No? CM Punk
Compared to the 6'6", 6'8".
I know.
303 pounds.
I mean,
I also think a lot of that is deliberate.
Did you watch him get his head busted?
Oh,
He
yeah.
took a beating like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He took it like a champ, though. You know what I mean?
he didn't take it like a champ. He took it like a bitch. He didn't do
Got
anything.
His head beat in.
Who
No,
was
he
it?
didn't do anything, but I mean,
Who got their
he didn't
head
cry
beat
either.
CM Punk? No, he didn't cry because he made $500,000 to go get his ass beat in 2 minutes.
I wish somebody paid me that.
Back to the front.
Yeah.
Benoit's murder-suicide.
How big was he, though? I mean,
Oh,
he
my
was
God.
gassed. I mean, he
How
had a
big
body
was-
on
how
him.
big was
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, all those guys.
I mean, they were bodied up then.
Tell
Those
us.
guys were believable then. I mean, they looked different than nobody looks like that except Bobby Lashley.
You know, that stretch in the early 2000s did not help wrestling either. Look at all the guys that passed
No, it
away.
looked like a Marvel comic book thing because they were all so big, but then they all died.
I mean, 2000 to 2008, 2003 alone is the death year, probably the worst year in wrestling. But did it hurt them? Did it hurt wrestling because people saw that they thought that's what these guys are now? They're a bunch of murderers.
That's what the mainstream was
or
painting
they're a
it
bunch
as.
of juiced up, just steroid freaks that are all pilled out.
With bad brains.
I'd be pissed if I was a steroid provider. Like if I was a drug dealer pushing roids, I'd be like, these motherfuckers are just running my business.
God, why can't I think of the guy's name that went to jail
Balco?
down in Georgia? No.
Oh,
guy that
the
supplied
doctor.
Benoit.
No, he was doing all the pain. I mean, he was writing enormous amounts of pain pill. I mean, it was fucking insanity.
I think they were just stamping his name by the end.
Yeah, I mean, he was getting over 1,000 a month, and she was getting a ton. But it was all the WCW guys. He saw like 15 or 20 of the wrestlers. But again, that was common in the Southeast. Florida and Georgia were known for that.
I mean, why
when we were
wouldn't
at
a
the law
doctor,
firm.
honestly, it makes sense when you think about it. Wrestlers are going to tell the other wrestlers where they're getting it. A doctor wants to increase the size of his base when he can do just as easy thing of write a prescription and make money off of
They
it.
said they just used to put fucking bags and bowls out, and it would just be just random pills, and they'd just take handfuls of them, not knowing what it was.
That's crazy, dude. Don't you love your liver?
Gee, wonder why you died. I mean,
Yeah.
like that. It wasn't one thing. It wasn't pain pills. It wasn't steroids. It wasn't somas. It was that they were taking fucking everything. They were taking uppers to get up. They were taking downers to come down. They were drinking. They were taking shit for the pain. They were shooting up with steroids.
Smoking pot.
They had a fucking concoction of all sorts of shit in their body.
And the problem is, it had always been this way up until the Benoit thing hits news, hits mainstream. They, like you said, they get current and ex wrestlers on CNN, on Fox News, what have you, and then
Mark Marrow, Deborah, Kevin Nash. Actually, Kevin Nash's interview is the best of all of them. He went on Fox.
Jericho was on there.
Yeah, Jericho, Cena, and Bret Hart did CNN.
I think.
Yeah, I believe so.
And the problem is, like, even these guys that are trying to, obviously not advocate for Benoit, but trying to defend the wrestling business. These news programs would skew their, how they would answer questions. They would somebody help me out. What's the word I'm looking for here?
I don't know.
They would basically twist their words into making it seem like that. Well,
they wanted to make it seem like they were all like that.
Yeah. What was that scene in Nancy Grace?
Oh God, yeah.
Awful human being.
Piece of shit.
Who did she have on? That's the interview in particular I'm thinking of. I can't.
Which one?
Again,
she had Road Warrior Animal on.
No.
She had Meryl on. She had Deborah McMichael.
No.
She had
Meryl was the worst one I can remember.
Deborah
You
McMichael.
talking about Johnny B. Bad?
Yes, same guy.
You know, it's surprising to me that hasn't come back up with Steve Austin. Anyway,
he caved her face in?
Yeah.
No.
It wasn't any of them. It's probably not going to come to me, but it was like
the Blue Meanie.
Whoever she was talking to would she would and whoever she had on, they were, like a lot of pro wrestlers, they're not good with words, and it's, she was trying to back them into a corner, and they shouldn't have been on the show, period. But the problem was, at this point, any ex or pro wrestler at that point was looking to come on to make a buck or trying to defend the business.
There was no in between.
Right.
I mean, you're right on that.
So do you think it just pulled the curtain back too far at that point, even though it had pretty much already been done? But this is where I talk about drug testing, changing it, and T.O. already basically covered it. I mean, that hurt. Guys shrunk. And even though it's probably better for them in the long run, so guys aren't dropping dead now like they were 10 years ago, just every month or every
heart
week.
Disease in their mid-40s.
Yeah.
So on Nancy Grace, I have it on right now, and as soon as I start running the reel, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Dead air.
No, this is fantastic.
What is it?
Hold on.
Oh boy.
From 2 minutes and 10 seconds to 3 minutes and 5 seconds, so 55 seconds, they have a roll of the deaths in wrestling. And I mean, it's just continuously going, but it goes for 55 seconds of the people that have died.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
Since 95, before the age of 65. But it has, I mean, like, the people on
Who
here.
we got?
Oh my God! Are you
Everybody.
serious?
I mean, there's so many names. Rufus Jones, 60. Ray Stevens, 60. Stan Stasiak, 60. I mean, Dick the Bruiser, 62. Gorilla Monsoon, 62.
I'm curious how many of those are upper 50s, low
Wahoo
60s.
McDaniel, 63. These guys died of like somewhat normal shit that you just die of, like heart attack. I mean, how many 60-year-olds do we know that pass away?
It's
that
not super common
not
anymore, but it's not uncommon.
But was it in the 90s, early 2000s? I mean, you talk about the medical.
I don't know.
That's not like it was the 50s.
Yeah.
I don't.
I mean, those guys. The wrestling business is a tough business. Every night on the road in a car, drinking. I mean, there's a reason those guys are dropping dead. Like, how is Flair still alive? Doesn't even make sense. But those other guys, I mean.
Have you seen him lately? He hardly looks. I mean, he looks rough, dude.
You know. I also
Flair
find it
looks
funny
rough.
that Kevin Nash is in as good a shape as he's in.
He always took care of himself somewhat, though.
Yeah, he did.
Working out, why? I mean, there was some guy. I mean, and Flair.
Same with Flair.
Flair was a stickler to doing his cardio every day.
I mean,
He's a machine.
Aside from drinking every night, they like guys like Flair and Nash, they didn't do anything else except like you said, go to the gym and take care of their body. So
they're pros.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, did wrestler deaths in the 2000s really hurt the business? I see that. You can also go back and point to Vince McMahon shaking hands with Cold Stone. Stone Cold Steve Austin in the middle of the ring is killing the business. It was certainly the end of the Attitude Era, and that was the end of the biggest boom in the history of wrestling.
Right.
Even though it had tailed a little bit, buying WCW can be looked at and seen as something that killed wrestling. I mean, all in all, it is not the same. It's not even close to being what it used to be, obviously. I would think everybody would agree with that, even though some people on certain Facebook pages say that we're a disco stick or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, we're disco stick.
Because we think wrestling's dead and people think it's as big as it's ever been. Hey, you're wrong. It's not as big as it's ever been.
No, but
Clearly
people
not
that
as
don't
big as it's
know,
ever
that
been.
haven't watched it, and they see this shit that they're seeing on the news, and they see the stocks, and they see the headlines, they think that. But what's funny is it's not causing an increase in viewership. Nobody's getting there to watch it, going to watch it. I mean,
Somebody did make a good point though on our group over there that it's hard to compare the success of it now. Whenever you look at, you didn't have YouTube views and all the network views to dump into your ratings back in the day. You just had Monday and Thursday ratings.
what it is though, I think it's politics. I think that there's such a focus on politics the last 4 years that I think I mean, you look at the viewership for CNN and Fox News, I think you've lost people there.
They think they've grown up out of it?
Monday Night Football. I mean, everything is down. So I know what you're saying with tablets and watching it in other ways, but it's not the same. I mean, wrestling is lost over. I mean, what at the peak? What were they drawing on the same night? 10 million.
Oh, more than that.
I wonder how much of that was shared.
They've lost. I mean, I'm sure there's a good amount that was shared, but they probably lost a good 5 to 6 million fans in less than 20 years.
I don't doubt that at all. More than half. Well, more than half.
And it's, where did they go?
All you have to do is look at house show attendance, or
That's going to be
any
obsolete.
live show.
They're
attendance.
I bet they stopped doing that before long.
Oh, I've said for years that Raw one day will not be wrestling.
Do you think the rise of the UFC had anything to do with
I was gonna say the
fans
same
thing. Okay.
switting from wrestling
No.
to more real
I think it
fighting?
did.
I don't
I think
so.
it did
Oh,
too, 'cause
really?
It's right around that time. I mean, you know, like when it got super
Yes,
good and popular.
Absolutely.
It's completely. I think it's a completely different demographic.
Here, how about I
they
tell you
shit
this?
on each other.
When I stopped watching wrestling, I started watching UFC.
Yeah, that's exactly the same for me.
You look at it now though, and everybody that's these MMA guys, they never watch wrestling. No, I mean that's what they say.
Liars.
No, most of the fighters watch
liars.
wrestling. I mean, some of your biggest wrestling fans are UFC fighters, but I think UFC was a thing that people went, you know, like all the fucking weirdos that are into soccer, and I can say that because I was involved in soccer. But you know, hockey was that way for a while. People look for their outlet to where they can be, you know, not I don't watch the NFL. I'm a soccer guy, or I'm a this. That was UFC for a while. They wore their shitty Affliction T-shirts and their Jed Hardy shit. No offense, Corey.
Oh, I did have some major Ed Hardy stuff.
Did you
But-
was you a Ned Hardy guy?
I think
It was-
that
it was-
might have killed wrestling.
It was almost a fucking lifestyle.
That's what killed
like it was. It was
wrestling.
almost a
Sucked it.
lifestyle.
You're
thing
saying
that
it's
these-
not now. Come on.
UFC's not like that now. You know, you can't go out to a bar and be like, "Oh, those guys all fucking train. Those guys all go to a fucking gym and roll around like they're tough." Like in the mid 2000s, 2010, you could go out and be like, "All right, this guy thinks he's tough. This guy thinks he's tough. This guy thinks he's tough. This guy thinks he's tough," because they'd all have their stupid ass T-shirts on. And you know who didn't wear those T-shirts? Guys that actually fought. They didn't wear them out. Real fighters. Guys that didn't fight at the Casey Hall and get their ass beat. They didn't wear those shirts out. They wore normal shirts out in public.
Knights of Columbus to the layperson.
I'll be back.
I have to agree, though. A lot of people loved wrestling, and a lot of people took it as even though it's fake, it's real. And I know that sounds stupid, but people that did know it was fake still were like, "Oh, this is awesome! Did you guys see this the other night?"
was
Don't
escape.
tell me that UFC didn't draw on that.
That's the way I feel about it too.
Fake.
Absolutely.
Their drama is completely fake, in
Let me-
my opinion.
let me ask you guys this.
UFC, They
How
build
much-
storylines like
manufactured.
WWE does, man.
How much do you think that this is the fault of the bad product versus the change in our culture for not wanting that sort of entertainment? Like not keeping up with the culture, you could think of it that way? Like wrestling maybe just hasn't kept up with where we're at now as a people. It's not the type of entertainment.
Are you saying because they went to a more family-friendly product? Is that
I'm
what
not.
you're-
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying. I guess that's part of it.
I know what you're saying.
I just don't think they're no longer cool. They didn't keep up with what's cool enough. You know what I mean? They're not the entertainment people are looking for.
You mean
anymore.
because a 75-year-old man is deciding what's cool and what's not cool?
That's exactly it. He doesn't know. His hand is so far from the pulse.
So did Vince kill wrestling?
I mean, maybe.
You can certainly point to him.
Yeah,
Again, I think we're coming to the conclusion here that it's 1,000 little things.
Yeah, right.
But Vince
right.
McMahon is behind a lot of them.
Yeah, it's a good point. He definitely, while getting fucking rich, he didn't help the business. That's for sure. In a lot of ways, he built the business and then let it get stagnant.
Well, it's because they're still making money, and
I'd
they're
say
the
it's
only
because-
game in town.
It's
Money
because
talks.
He can.
I mean, how are you going to argue with a guy that's still bringing home millions and millions and millions of dollars every year to say that he's not doing something successful?
Yeah, my problem is that a lot of people used to make a good living in this business, and now a few, well, not a few, but a certain select group of guys make a pretty darn good living.
Sounds like how it works in real life. 1%ers and all.
Yeah, like while 10% make a fucking great living.
10% make 90%?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that tell you?
Probably more than that if you think about all the indie people put in together on that. And
Yeah. I bet his wife should run the small business.
Uh-oh.
But it's a complex question, and it is a lot of these things, but that's why it's a good discussion. I still think that people assume, and like one of our friends said that, wrestling's as big as it's ever been. People think this is cyclical, and they think it's going to come back. Do you guys think there is a boom coming ever again?
I think it's certainly possible.
I think if there is a boom coming in professional wrestling, it's going to happen on the indies.
Reason?
Because enough people are getting sick of WWE's product, and it's still going in the same direction, and they refuse to change unless, and I don't say this to sound cynical, but until Vince McMahon passes away, it's going to stay the same.
And how do you compete with mumble rappers for like kids these days? Not mumble rappers in general, but
mumble rappers.
8-year-olds, 9-year-olds. When are they going to get into this? You know what I mean? When we were kids, we didn't have a lot of
options,
choices. Yeah. How is a kid these days? Which you have to get them young if you wanted to build that product.
Your parents have to watch it first off.
Well, that's going to help.
That's what it's got, because you know what I mean. That basically that's it. Your parents have to watch it.
My point is,
or friends.
How do you get this new audience? How do you get an audience that not necessarily thinks wrestling's cool? When we were kids, wrestling was cool. We looked up to those giant guys.
It's not even about being cool, but our parents are at our age to where they know what they saw, and they don't want their kids to see that, and they're not even going to turn it on to see what it is.
Bunch of pussies, in my opinion.
Now.
There.
Well, to a point.
Yeah.
Some are worried. I mean,
the sexual stuff's a little much, but
and there's none of that.
There's not anymore. Oh,
no.
Good. They don't yell puppies every 5 seconds anymore.
No.
That was a little much.
They've gone as PGG as you can go.
And I don't mind that if you've got compelling storylines to go along with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do they do the thing where they skirt the line, like will they, won't they go past the PG limit? Because that gets old quick.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I guess none of us watch it, close enough anymore. But I imagine that's the type of bullshit Vince would love to do, like he used to do with the hot lesbian action, which you can't show hot lesbian action, but it'll tease the shit out of it. You know what I mean? I bet they still got that same will they, won't they go past the line.
I was about to say that I think, like Corey said, they're as PG-G as they're gonna get. I think where they're at now is where they're gonna stay. Like they're as close to, what is it, TV 14 or whatever, as they're gonna get, which is not even close. Like they'll do like the innuendo.
I'm pretty sure they're TV PG.
No, they are. I'm saying like they're as close as to the next
TV PG 13.
Whatever it is, as they're gonna get. Like they'll do the innuendos. They'll hint at stuff. They'll have the occasional cuss word out there every so often, but that's it.
Yeah. The whole reason we got to this, as I said, will it ever come back? And I think it is too far gone, and I don't know how they think that this is going to stay where it's at, trying to compete with the things that I see on other channels, and I'm going, how can you guys not at least have some drama or some, do push those lines, do try and go to the edge, when so many other shows that are on in those time slots, are doing whatever they want. And for some reason, wrestling's the one that doesn't, or sports entertainment, as you would call it now. It just doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's cyclical. I don't think it's coming back.
I agree with you. And when I said if there is going to be one, I think it's going to be on the indies. I don't think it'll compete with WWE by any means. I'm just saying that there might be an economic boost to the professional wrestling industry.
Big Trump fan, are you?
I'm telling you right now, if it was cyclical, they wouldn't be going to Saudi Arabia. They wouldn't be going to these other countries looking for
Australia.
I mean, they're going anywhere else but here because it is tapped.
Yeah, because you're drawing 3,000 at a house show, 6,000 for a Raw.
So my thing is with All In, you know, they got 10,000, which Ring of Honor helped them, and there's a lot of, did the boys do it? Did the boys not do it? How much help do they have? Yada yada. They're going to sell at Madison Square Garden, I think. But it's WrestleMania weekend. There's going to be a ton of wrestling fans there. I think that they'll do another big show, but you can't. They can't do that every week. They can't do that. They can't do that once a month. If they did 12 shows a year, it's people had to plan their weekends around it. It was a whole thing, you know, with the podcast row and the stuff that Conrad did. I think WWE's actions and where they're looking for money and the deals they're willing to cut with some of the people that they're doing it. I mean, it shows the desperation. And I think there will come a point in time when the McMahons don't own the company. They'll sell it. The only thing that the only way it won't happen is because Triple H is such a jerk off. I mean, the dude just loves himself so much, and you can see that by him inserting himself into these matches, and then, you know, every time they go and sign an indie star, he's getting his picture taken with him and doing, like, he wants to be loved by everybody. He wants the internet fans to like him. He wants to be loved by everyone. So maybe he takes on the role as the guy to save wrestling once Vince dies. I don't know.
Yeah, I would just, you guys made me think of this. Did them going to that almost crossing the line for so many years, did that kill it? So then when they
hot shot and stuff.
So when they pulled
angles.
back, well, they hot shotted the whole fucking company.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, it went from Miss Elizabeth to Sable's 36 Z's busting out. I mean, like, you look at everything was on steroids at that time. They went from Doink the Clown to Satan. They went from wholesome Miss Elizabeth or whatever female you want to. I mean, even Sunny at that time was not as provocative as what Sable was. I mean, like,
no.
You look at, I mean, you're right. It was like, all right, we're going all in. I mean, like, we're changing our demographic.
Right.
Sex. I mean, like, they sold a different product.
They went from juvenile to young adult type of thing, right?
And I mean, why did we watch wrestling?
18 to 49.
We all grew up watching wrestling, but, like, you also didn't see girls like that on TV.
No.
In bikinis every night, pillow fight. I mean, like,
no, you saw them on Girls Gone Wild or
Howard Stern after you watched wrestling,
or Howard Stern. Also
but
a good show.
There was a huge amount of people that watched it for that.
Yeah.
And it got worse in the 2000s. That's what I didn't know. I didn't watch it in the 2000s because we were in college and doing things. Like Alex has said, you know, he got to a certain age and was like, I shouldn't be watching wrestling. You just kind of feel that way. But I didn't see any of the lesbian angles they did with Tori Wilson and Sable and Vince McMahon and Tori Wilson. I mean, like,
I've seen him play it back, but
I just haven't. I didn't watch it then, so I didn't know they went that far with selling sex. You know,
with loaded rosters.
Yeah, I mean, they were taking up time.
Mm-hmm.
On a 2-hour show. Now they have 3, and now I don't know what the count was last night. I watched most of it last night because my daughter's sick and she was living there with me, and, you know, it's either that or some horrible cartoon. But I bet the women
pretty close. They're pretty about the same.
I bet the women had 50% of the airtime last night, maybe 40%. But I mean, like,
evolution,
horrible angles, horrible wrestling. I mean, I don't care. They can talk about how much better it was. Or how much better it is now. It's better now because it was so bad before.
Yeah, the model deal where they would just bring in models is bad.
But you were in Playboy, you can be a wrestler. Okay.
I don't know that.
You're a wrestler?
And by the way, hey, that's where the Bellas came from.
No argument here.
These trendsetters and these strong women that get... it's stupid.
Well, hopefully Rosa Mendez can come back and have a match. You have to point to one thing that killed the business so we can go play trivia. Eric, I know, your microphone's just burning up from all the talking.
He's still blown away that Ted DiBiase as a kid.
What? I told you, man, I think that the storylines didn't draw me in anymore. It for whatever reason, got less interesting to me.
It's really interesting what you said about UFC, though. I mean, like we talked about it, yeah. I never thought about that just from being... Like, Robbie's kid's into it. Robbie went to WrestleMania. Like, those guys like that stuff. But you talk to people about it. I didn't. I mean, Ian married a wrestler. You know, what was her name? Jesus Christ.
Ryan
Shamrock.
Yeah. He never watched it. I mean, like, he thinks it's story. Like, it's either you did or you didn't with those guys.
So what part of UFC are you talking? Are we talking like right off the bat when it started in like 93, 94?
Once it got popular,
or
no.
they're probably
02,
talking
03,
2002, 2003,
03,
2004.
yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to say that, I would say Benoit murders, then transition in the UFC, because UFC really took off about 2006, 2007 with Hughes St. Pierre. Chuck Liddell was in his prime.
Yeah, Chuck
Tito
Liddell, Randy
Ortiz,
Couture fights.
Lesnar going over. I mean, I would say maybe Lesnar, the crossover appeal. Lesnar might have brought a lot of fans with him, and it shows in his pay-per-view buys. But
I think people are already sick of the WWE, just like I said, just not interested anymore. And then this started gaining popularity, and they just had no problem moving right over there to it.
And Saturday night, or 2 Saturdays ago, the shit that went on was
WWE.
I mean, it was a wrestling storyline from even the 80s, though. WCW, NWA ran stuff like that. I mean, the Von Erichs and the Freebirds. I mean, like that is stuff.
Very much so.
That's the buzz in the sports world, an old wrestling storyline that wrestling doesn't even do anymore. They don't even try to do anything remotely close to that.
And if they do, it looks completely.
And the other thing I'll say, Ronda,
they don't pull it off.
I think Ronda Rousey's popular with the fans because of her name. I don't think she's brought fans with her.
No,
I don't think there's any, and that's why I don't think there's a crossover. I don't think UFC fans care for wrestling.
That liked her,
yeah,
and people that were wrestling fans that watched UFC also is what you're saying,
right?
Big Easy, one thing.
Yeah, I'm going to say the internet and the ease of information behind the scenes. You take away the magic, you take away the fun.
That's my phone. And that's the song "Psycho" by Puddle and Mud.
So
it's awesome.
Is that a commentary on my commentary? Are you calling me a psycho?
No.
Okay.
You think it's the internet?
I think that's a big deal. Pulling back the curtain, so to speak, I think is the big deal.
Moving the dirt sheets basically to everybody had it a click away.
Right.
It's a great point. I mean, the internet is how. I mean, that's how people don't watch anymore. They just read the results.
Right.
Because you don't want to have to sit through 3 hours.
That's how my evolution was. I stopped watching the show, and then for a couple years, I read WrestleZone.com's Monday night and Thursday night reports, and then after that, I just lost interest. Eventually, it went away.
Yeah. You are not alone. Alex?
So real quick, kind of piggybacking off the UFC popularity, something that we didn't mention is you could go watch any other sporting event like NFL, baseball, whatever. They would have their own storylines there too because ESPN would make them into storylines. Yeah. So you also had personalities like early 2000s. You had the real T.O.
So what you're saying is whenever regular sports started catching up with the drama of sports entertainment,
right,
there was less of a need for sports entertainment.
Sports entertainment wrestling, yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
As opposed to just going out and playing the game. Now they've got background stories, E60.
Yeah.
Every time a guy's got a drug problem or whatever, it's definitely there's a story about it rather than just, hey, send that guy down the minors.
So essentially pulling back the wrestling curtain hurt it, whereas pulling back the curtain in other sports hurt it as well because you had inside stories and personal stuff about other athletes. And
who's the most famous UFC fighter? You think of the UFC, what fighter do you think of?
Right off the bat, probably Chuck Liddell.
Conor McGregor.
Now.
That's my point. Those are the two biggest personalities the sports had, Chuck Liddell and Conor McGregor.
Jesus.
But Conor McGregor, but he was the first person to go he crossed over into movies. He did Entourage. He did a bunch of different stuff.
Well, I said Chuck Liddell because that was the peak of whenever I was watching it.
So, and that's
like each event I would not miss.
Yeah, but it was because it was exciting. He did his thing. Him and Tito Ortiz really hated each other. Conor McGregor is Ric Flair. He is stolen all this stuff. He talks. He's wearing the big fur coats. In a lot of ways, and you brought the question up, Dana White, Vince McMahon. Dana White has ripped off everything that Vince McMahon did, from not giving insurance, the guy, not being able to form a union, being independent contractors, but not being able to work anywhere else, getting locked into shitty contracts. It's the problem with the UFC can't choose their star. That's what's happened. They try to make their star, and they can't determine the outcome. WWE can. They can build these guys. But they still can't do it, and they control the outcome. That's what's fucking insane to me. They cannot make their stars. They're hell-bent on Roman Reigns. And do you think it's because Roman Reigns is big? No, I'm asking you a question. We talked about the size of guys. I had to step out, and I was going to ask you this, but do you think they have a hard-on for Reigns because Reigns looks like a wrestler from 15 years ago?
No, I don't know why they have a hard-on for him. I don't fucking care because they...
good looking.
Because it's dead. It's all dead.
But Vince wants it. Is it because Vince
McMahon said he would rather have a half arena full with the guy that he wanted on top than a full arena with a guy he didn't like on top?
So that's my thing. Is Vince fixated on Roman Reigns like he was a warrior?
We already talked about
like
it. Did Vince
Shawn
fucking kill the
Michaels?
business? Because he thinks what's cool and he's 75 years old calling the shots.
And he still is.
And he always will until he's dead. And that's why Alex said...
They said
you should
that
really stay for a whole show sometime.
I had to take a call for what I have to do in real life.
Damn it.
Leo Rush, the guy that's out with Bobby Lashley now. I don't know.
Oh my God.
No, but this goes back to Vince McMahon.
We gotta play fucking trivia.
Wait,
Actually, guys, I gotta go. I gotta go to a funeral.
Oh my goodness. God bless them.
he has
Thoughts and
he
prayers,
has an
sorry.
earpiece in, and Vince McMahon is telling him everything to say. A 75-year-old man is telling a 24-year-old African American what to say on the mic as the match is going on. You think that comes across as genuine? Do you think it comes across as hip or funny
Rarely,
or anything? No.
No, I don't. And that's part of the problem. I'm going to finish this up because...
You didn't ask me what I thought killed it.
Yeah, I did, and you already said it.
You shut up, Tio.
Benoit in the UFC was second. Since I told you to pick one, you picked two.
No, I did. That's not even what I think killed it.
Okay, then what killed it?
I think lack of competition. I think WWF would have been in trouble long ago if it weren't for WCW.
We might have never gotten what we got.
I think if WWF would have bought NWA, or I mean, like if Turner wouldn't have decided to do that, we never would have had an era of wrestling like we did. That was the golden age. People say there was a golden age of boxing. People say there was a golden age of baseball with the home run chase. That was the golden age of wrestling, and we'll never get it back from an entertainment standpoint, not the pure aspect of it.
Never say never, my friend, but probably.
So Vince buying WCW.
I think that's that combined with the internet. I think it was a perfect storm right there.
Do you think if Eric Bischoff's company, the one he was putting together to buy WCW, had gotten through with that rather than WWE, would it have made a difference?
If you would let me handle it.
Because he was running
It would have been TNA.
I was about to say he showed what he would have done when he went to TNA.
And
so.
if you look back at the people they had, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, I mean, they had younger versions of the guys that are on top right now, along with Kevin Nash, Hogan. I mean, that roster was loaded.
And
if you look back at it,
never given those guys a shot to do it.
No, same thing. It's what killed WCW.
Oh.
Hogan would still hold the belt.
Probably.
That fucker would wrestle in Saudi Arabia right now if they asked him to.
He'd be commissioner of WCW 2, World War II.
Is this and back to the Saudi Arabia? I know I'm floating all over, but I have one more. No, I know. I have one question. Are you guys surprised that they have not? Austin's name has not come up at all to come out of retirement for this?
Man, I could make a joke right now, but
do it.
No.
You think social justice warriors are going to come out?
Oh God,
he'd be a fucking hero to those Saudi Arabians. They throw rocks at bitches. He hits them.
That was what I was thinking.
They'd want to be the champion, the Saudi fucking cheek.
This is actually the perfect time for this Stone Cold character to make a return. If you think about the main demographic in America, the people that put Trump in office, Stone Cold would seem to be their god.
Yeah, but I don't think Stone Cold's a Trump guy.
I don't think he is either. But fuck it for the money. I'll say anything.
No, I don't
for
think
money.
I really don't think he is.
Uh-oh. Corey disagrees.
He's from Texas. He hunts. I mean, come on.
Yeah, probably hates him.
Dude, he's Hollywood. Hollywood, none of those guys are. And they don't say it if
I mean,
they are.
either way, do you think Vince gives two fucks about their politics whenever he can make a big check? I don't.
There is not one guy in that company that has come out against anything that's happened. Because they know where their bread's buttered, and he'll fire somebody in 30 seconds.
I don't doubt it at all.
So
let's bring Stone Cold back.
Stone, what do you guys think? Stone Cold some fucking Hillary shill?
No. I think he's perfect for the current, the current temperature of America.
That audience is not there.
You don't
that
think?
audience is in UFC.
Huh.
That's why he's doing podcasts now.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
WWE, the current casual wrestling fan, not casual, current one that watches it is very progressive at this point. And that hurts too.
Yeah, that can't
That's
be good for
another
them.
thing that's killed them.
I agree with
The
you 100%
beer drinkers
on
are
that.
gone. People that want to raise hell, they go to UFC.
The signs are gone.
Yeah.
Do you remember the signs, how interactive it was?
That though, that's the internet. That's YouTube. That's anybody being able to. You had signs because you wanted to get on TV. Now anybody can get on TV. I mean, Jesus. Look at the no talent.
Just
fucks
cry and
that
act like you believe it.
Look at the no talent fucks that have podcasts these days.
So,
Indeed.
So just real quick. So my two are the internet and Vince buying up the territory. So
you were talking earlier. weren't you?
That's all right. Something to back my territory rationale behind that. If you go to any college football town, they love their team. Am I right?
Probably.
Last time I checked.
Don't you think the same would hold true if you still had local? Well, I mean,
I totally agree.
You'd
I
have
know
your
what you're
own
saying.
local wrestlers. You would love and hate your own guys. You would more than likely have like the equivalent of an NWA champion that would come to your territory, like a Flair that you could hate. You hope your top face would go against, beat him for the belt, but it wouldn't happen.
Yes. Absolutely killed it. I don't know if they survive. I mean, I know what you're saying, but yes, it would be nice if the territory still existed. And they're right. Cable TV would have changed everything. But
Let me ask you guys this: do you think a new product that is similar in thought to Glow could work these days? A
Nope.
completely new wrestling show with completely new people targeted at a younger audience. You don't think it's possible at all?
no,
With the right production, not at all. Wow.
don't have enough money.
That's going to be a problem there.
The people with the money don't know how, and the people without that don't have the money, or the people that do know how don't have the money. Really fuck that up.
So, do you think if you got those people together, it could work?
I don't think you could.
Yeah, you go ahead and sit and talk to them. Let them decide
pitch
who's going
that.
to call the shots.
Yeah.
Shit. I still say, going back to mine, I say the advancements in sports medicine have killed it off. No consistency, people getting hurt. They realized that people were dying off early.
I think that's the dumbest reason you could go with.
And it covers a broad spectrum of things that have happened. I'm right, as usual.
As usual.
That's my pick.
No debating.
We got time for trivia?
You fellas ready for a game?
I think so.
Shit.
Let's do this.
Here I say that we should go in this direction, and this direction has given us an hour and a half so far, baby.
Loving it.
All right.
If you're hanging around still, Alex is in charge of trivia, and Alex has got his belt out.
Oh, yeah.
Tell him about the belt real quick.
This is the Missouri State heavyweight title. This is probably top three favorite in my
Brought to you by the
collection now.
Missouri State Athletic Commission.
Yes.
Sanctioned.
Race had this. Flair had this. Briscoe's had this. I mean, this was, in many cases, a stepping stone to the NWA heavyweight belt.
Back in the Dizzy.
So,
Dizzy, eh?
Hell yeah, man. Missouri's right across the river, son.
all right. So, we've got
What are we playing today?
Play Name That Tune.
Hey.
Jeopardy style. We've got 1 through 500. We have, these should say heel singles.
Heels.
Face singles.
Faces.
And tag teams.
Tag teams.
Tag teams could be either face or heel. The order is
Eric.
now that now that Eric's gone. Big E is first, Corey is second, Tio is third. Eric actually Eric actually would have been last. So
Perfect.
Big E, your first selection, please, sir.
I wanna start out with a small win. Let's go faces for 100.
Faces for 100. Let's see. All right, here we go.
Who doggy? This better be a good one.
Take it off mute. Here
Big
Sound of
Easy, you
silence.
ready?
Is this Simon and Garfunkel? Sound of silence.
He's just a common man, working hard with
Well, listen
his
up.
hands.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, I
good.
can't believe I don't know this.
Working hard
For the man.
Beautiful though. This should be my song.
He's a man.
Yeah, I don't know. Steven Regal. I got nothing.
Jesus, that was the perfect answer for the next words.
I love it.
Great Muda?
Is that mine for the steal?
No, it's Corey's for the steal.
Oh, fucking come on.
Ain't it a shame, Dusty Rhodes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Corey, you're up.
I will take heels for 300.
Heels for 300.
Alex.
There you go. I was about ready to say you have to say Alex.
Heels for 300. Here we go.
Big Easy, you want to take a bet on how quick I get this?
3 seconds.
Okay. Well, I just lost. Heels for 300. Okay.
That's all you get. If you don't got it, you suck.
This is heels. Chris Masters.
Incorrect.
Okay.
I heard it again, please.
T.O.
Oh, my God. Put your fucking headphones on.
Hold on, though. I hear it better this way.
Liar.
I'm not playing it again. This only gets one play.
I didn't hear. I didn't hear.
That's
my
a shame.
headphone was broke.
No, that's too bad.
It was
Just give me
something like
30 seconds. of it. No, I'm gonna go with
Good guess.
Power and Glory.
Incorrect.
No.
But good guess.
Big Easy.
That was easy. Dean Douglas.
Incorrect. Good guess also. Narcissist Lex Luger.
God damn it.
Narcissist. Yeah, that was good.
The Narcissist.
The bionic elbow, man. You don't fuck around.
I'll do Faces for 500, Alex.
Faces for 500.
Just about Rod Stewart songs? But I'm team.
Yeah.
Nobody. You know what
Here
I'm
we
talking
go.
about.
Face for 500. Let's go.
The Faces.
Coco Beware, right?
Correct.
Some sort of
Yeah.
Southern Baptist style.
Wow.
It was awesome.
Think
That
about
was
it.
a tough one. Play the fucking Narcissus for 300.
I thought that was going to be a
We're
hard
lucky
one.
I didn't get that one right. That's who I thought it was at first.
And you didn't play fucking Pile Driver for Coco Beware, but whatever.
I'll take tag teams.
Mom Jeans is killing it. Bastion Booger.
Nice. I'll take mom jeans.
Mom Jeans.
Mom jeans for 200, please.
Tag teams.
Tag teams for 200, please. I will take mom jeans.
Here we go.
Boom.
Comfort. Oh. It's pretty dope.
Now we'll see
I'm
how.
pretty sure I heard
dopey
this
it
earlier
is.
today, and I forgot already.
Definitely Attitude Era.
You heard this already? You listen?
Didn't I walk in earlier and you were testing shit out? Was this the
No.
one you were playing?
No.
Okay.
You
Then
listen
good.
to
I don't feel
wrestling
bad.
themes in your car on the way here?
Sometimes. Sometimes I sleep to them.
That's all right.
Oh boy. Yeah. Let's go with Power and Glory to carry on To there.
Incorrect. Corey.
Chronic.
Incorrect.
Ooh, good tag team.
T.O.
I sure enjoyed him.
I don't know.
No guess?
No.
The Dudleys.
Oh.
I'm glad I didn't know that because I think they suck. I
Clearly.
hate that fat fuck Bubba Ray.
Clearly.
Corey, you're
Heels
up.
for 500.
Heels for 500.
Let's get a big one here.
It's gonna be a hard one because it's 500.
It's going to be from fucking ECW.
I think I know this.
I think I do too.
I'm about 7% sure I know this one. It's the surest I've been.
I will say that is. Jesus. I'll say Dean Douglas.
Incorrect.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go with Triple.
hold on,
it's
hold on.
T.O. Damn.
Dino Bravo.
Incorrect.
Close, I bet.
Like I said, I'm 7% sure it's Triple H.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Don Morocco.
God damn it! That's who I meant. Not Dino Bravo. Don Morocco. God. I fucking get 'em
Sure.
confused. I've done that twice.
I often get Dino Bravo
All
and
right.
Don Morocco. Mixed
Take
up.
a Ritalin.
No, Ritalin would make me even crazier.
Yeah, will it make you pick
Take
a category?
Which one had the Nordique like symbol on their trunks?
Dino Bravo.
That was the Fear to Lease.
Please pick a category.
Fear to Lease.
Faces 400, Alex.
Hey, Mom Jeans, I was going to say Adam Bomb on that one too, but it was tag teams. That was
That's
my
why you went
pick.
Chronic.
We actually have done faces for 100. I'm
400.
sorry. Faces for okay.
I'll get one.
Faces for 400.
I'm a big face guy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was beautiful, bro. That was beautiful. Daily double.
Daily double.
Doink.
No.
Not a face.
You have 500 you can wager.
500, Alex.
Uh-oh. Faces for 400.
Change.
Gotta find it here. All right, here we go.
Sure, I'll nail this one.
And this cannot be stolen because it's a daily double.
Just try and stop me. Ooh, this is kind of a Latin thing.
For 500, T.O.
Gosh, dang it.
And it can't be stolen.
No.
So
Cannot be.
All right, I'm going to go ahead with my steal.
The Conquistador. I have no fucking clue.
Can I give the answer?
I was going to say Tito.
It is.
It
Is it Tito Santana?
El Matador.
El Matador.
Oh.
Chico Santana.
Chico. A little level Chico.
Is that Big E up next?
It is. I want heels for
Oh,
$200.
God.
How much? Heels for what?
High heels, $200.
Heels for 200.
Yeah, Daily Devil.
I was working for it. That's pretty close what I was doing, though. Seems so familiar, but... Power and Glory. Did I get it finally?
Oh, my God.
Oh, wait a minute. This is, let's just... Fuck. This isn't tag teams, is it? They were a heel tag team, to be fair.
Too late.
Yeah, well.
Corey.
Oh,
really?
my God.
Go Paul Roma.
Oh, no, it's not New Foundation. New Foundation.
It's not tag team.
What is wrong with me?
It's not tag team.
They're high energy. What? Oh,
not
my
tag
God.
team.
I forgot the song.
Dun, 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 dun. That's pretty close.
Give me your
No.
Give me whatever your final answer is, because you've.
Holy shit. I thought it was New Foundation.
I will accept that answer.
No, it's Jim Neidhart.
It's Owen.
It's Owen.
It's Owen.
Mom
but
Jean's got
it
it.
was Owen, but it also is used by New Foundation, also used by High Energy.
Yeah.
So, 200.
He doesn't need any help.
That's a cheat.
He should have had to give all those.
They should have given us.
Wait a minute.
Split
What
those
category was that?
That was
Faces.
That was heels for 200.
How was Owen a heel at the time with that? That wasn't his heel music.
Technically,
Yeah,
you
it
can
was.
not give it to me. That's fine with me.
Enough is enough.
But New
And
Foundation.
I'm not going to
used
take
that.
it.
Whose turn
I'm
is it?
right.
All right, Tio's up.
I'll take tag team.
I'm up.
500.
Asterisk.
That was yours, dickhead.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
I
Yeah, it
stole it from
was.
Big E.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he did. Sorry.
No.
Yes.
He didn't.
I
he
did.
did,
And
yeah, he
he
did.
knows I did.
Yeah.
Tag teams for
Oh, yeah,
300.
because I said Power and Glory.
Tag teams 300.
It's probably not Power and Glory.
Well, that's why I went to
Need help
tag
me
teams.
cheat.
Here we go.
Thank you.
300.
Oh, Owen. Nasty boys.
Yep.
That's
300.
nasty.
Is it my turn yet?
Yes.
Savio Vega from Mom Jeans.
Let's go with tag teams for 500.
Tag teams for 500.
Son of a bitch.
I'll do all of it.
I was gonna say.
You don't have anything
I was
left.
gonna say you don't have anything to wager, so I mean,
I lost my 500 when I wagered it. I thought we
Yeah.
didn't do losses on that.
we do for daily doubles. We do.
We never did before. We did not do that at the beginning. Go back and run it. Go
On
ahead.
the tape.
I'll
Give
just
him
do my
1,000.
500.
Give him 1,000.
Nope. This is fine.
He still got his 500, so let him wager.
That's
it.
fine.
We gotta have
Whatever.
baby got
That's
a
fine.
little blankie.
I mean, it was 500 anyway. So
Yep.
You
So
gotta
500.
tuck in his little feet.
You
hang
don't
on.
lose on daily doubles, do you?
Hang on.
I didn't think we did lose on daily doubles.
Huh.
Doesn't matter. I'm going to get it.
Yeah, clearly.
Clearly.
We've gotten
All
one
right, here we
so
go. Here we
far.
go. Here we go. And you can't steal.
Okay.
For 500, T.O.
Body Donnas.
Nope, it's gosh dang it, not Rick Mark. Was it
Today.
Tag team.
I know, but I'm trying to think of the guys' names. I can't think of the.
I'll give you 10 seconds.
Okay.
Give him a hint.
Could you play the song again, please?
Paul Roma and
Could you say the name of the team, please?
Hercules.
Paul Roma and Rick Martel.
Oh, man, the Young Stallion. No, they weren't a team. Beverly Brothers.
Yep.
I don't get those points, but
That doesn't
Mike,
sound like the
Enos.
fucking
Who was the
Beverly
other guy?
Brothers to me.
Who's the other guy besides Enos?
Enos and Wayne Bloom.
That's
right.
right. What
the
would they go
Destruction
by?
Crew.
Destruction. Yep.
What did they go by? Like, what were their names as the Everly Brothers? Or
Patrick and Beverly.
Bo and Blake.
Bo and Blake. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Beverly.
All right. Big E, you're up.
Mm.
Oh, just recap the scores real quick before we continue.
Oh, boy.
Corey's
I'm
at
winning.
600. T.O.'s at 500 still
Somehow.
technically. Big E is at 0.
I mean, technically 0.
I mean,
Technically.
okay,
All
this
right.
is our last round before Final Jeopardy.
I want faces for 4.
Faces for 4.
No, it's gone.
3.
Faces
3.
for 3. Here we go.
JYD.
Correct.
Yeah, thank God.
On the board.
What?
That was easy. I feel like that was a gimme. Thank you, Alex.
Corey.
Thank you.
Let's do tag teams for 400, and since I'm doing it, it's going to be one of the harder ones. So go ahead.
George
You're
the
such
Animal
I know
the
there's-
vic-
I
you're
know
such
there's
the
no-
victim. You're such the victim.
Here
You
we go,
always
here it
fucking
is.
win.
I know there's no structure to this. Yeah, burp into the fucking mic. Varsity Club.
Incorrect.
So sure of yourself.
Go ahead, Teal.
Let me think.
Oh, Jesus.
Gall. It's like those people who roll up to McDonald's that don't know what they want. You know what I mean?
Steiners.
Correct.
Very good.
Hey, that was for you going, oh, I knew it then. Ha! Gotcha.
Very good.
Don't worry, you'll lose in the end.
Nope.
You always do.
Is it my turn?
Yep.
Okay, I'll take faces for 2.
Faces for 2.
This will be nice and easy. Get me up on Corey.
Faces for 2. Here we
Yeah,
go.
like the Beverly Brothers.
Yeah, Beverly this.
That was the Steiners, not a Varsity Club.
Oh, God damn it.
I couldn't hear because
No,
they were
it's fine.
talking.
It's fine.
Okay.
You won't. It's fine. It was nothing important.
Tugboat? I didn't hear the beginning of it.
Yep. You're
Was it
wrong.
Tugboat? No? I didn't hear the beginning.
You might as well replay that first 2 seconds because that's not
fine.
fair.
That's fine. I'll replay.
Because it's going to give it to him.
Oh, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I couldn't in good conscience not to let that go.
We only got 3 more left. Let's just
All right.
finish them out.
Okay. Big Easy.
What do we got left? I'll take the easiest tag team for 100.
Tag team for 100. Here we go.
Oh my God.
Jericho and the Big Show.
Correct.
Jarrah Show.
God damn it.
So they
I
were.
wrote easy down because you got it and it was fucking easy.
Nice.
Heels for 400.
Butch Reed.
Fuck.
Heels for 400. Here we go.
Test.
Incorrect.
Heels for what was it? 400?
Yep.
Big Boss Man.
Incorrect.
When he was with
Good
the-
guess though.
Easy. It is not.
Frenchie Martin. I could be wrong.
It's a little edgy for
Yes
Frankie
or
Martin.
no?
Incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Bob Holly.
Oh, who could forget Bob Holly's music?
I'm a little mad that I did. I'll do Heels 100, Alex. Is that closing out the game?
Closing it out.
Here we go. Listen closely.
Oh my god. Great Muda?
Mr. Fuji.
Incorrect.
Mr. Fuji. Oh, I like it. We're getting close.
I can't give it to you.
Damn.
Sorry.
Yokozuna.
Yep. 100 for Corey.
Should have got that.
All right, so
I
recap.
didn't even have to say it.
Recap.
No, I knew you know.
Recap of the scores. Let's make sure I got this correct. I've got Corey. I've got you at 700. Make sure 2, 3, 4, 7. Yep. I've got Big E at 400.
Yeah.
1, 4.
The
Yep.
money.
And I've got T.O. at 1,100.
That's what I got him at, too.
Okay.
I don't know where it's at. 200,
Bizarro
500
world.
is 700, and 400 is 1,100.
All right. All right, Final Jeopardy. We've got 5 of these. We're going to do mashups again. 5 of them. We're going to do mashups again this week.
I like mashups.
So, basically, Tio, you weren't here last week. So, basically, it's
Perfect.
two wrestlers' teams. You got to name both of them.
Okay.
Put your wagers in.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Shoot the works. I like what you're doing here.
Open.
Open what? And this dead air is brought to you again by YoRadio.com.
It always is.
Check out the threehorsemanshow.com/YoRadio to get right to your download for the YoRadio app. Again, that's threehorsemanshow.com/YoRadio.
It's a good read.
Does everybody have their wagers?
We got it.
Yay, yay, yay.
I'm ready.
All right, here's the first one. Here we go.
It's your boy T-Ray.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, T-Ray.
That was not part of it.
Okay.
What's up, T-Ray? Welcome to the show.
So, you think you're untouchable?
Word life. This is basic thugonomics. This is basic thugonomics. Word life. I'm untouchable, but I'm forcing you to feel me. Word life. This is basic thugonomics. Word life.
Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go with Big E first.
I only had Cena, but I bet 0.
You did bet 0.
I bet 0. I said I was going to shoot the works, but I was tricking you guys.
Okay, Corey?
Attaboy. T.O. first.
Oh,
I did 550, Cena and Kane.
Correct.
Very good.
700, Cena and Kane.
Oh. All right, we've got Corey at 1,400, E still at 400. Wait, did I say that right? Corey 1,400, E at 400, T.O.'s got 1,650. All right. 4 more.
Ooh. Play the game. Everybody play the game.
Good.
Fine.
Wagers, good.
We're good
My
to go.
best Freddie Mercury.
Good?
Yep.
All
I
right.
just typed mine in.
All right, here we go.
My name is Finley, and I love to fight.
It's a shame for fate. Lost her head. A careless man who could wind up dead. You wear your sin like it's some kind of prize. Too many lies. Too many lies. All these words.
100, Sheamus and Triple H.
Incorrect.
Okay.
I was going to go
There's 100 typed on there too, just to show you guys I'm not.
Oh, all right.
0 again. Finley and Triple H.
Incorrect.
Are you guys shitting me?
No, that's what I had. Finley and Triple H.
1,400, Finley and Sheamus.
Oh. Correct.
Damn.
All right. 3 more.
Time to go big. Betting all of it.
0.
Okay.
Me too.
I was going to say, Everett, you better start betting something.
What am
'cause
I at? 1350?
I think they're going to bet it all here and lose
Recap.
it.
We got E at 400, T.O. at 1,550, Corey at 2,800.
Just that easy. Fucking one of them. At least you got to go last. That's the only reason you got it. prick.
Yeah,
Okay.
I stole your guys' answers.
We'll have him go first this time.
Yeah, have him go first.
You guys ready?
This is the one I'm gonna miss.
Wagers good. C, yeah.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
You got a buzz.
It's somebody. 2,500 Brock and Kofi.
Oh, correct.
I had the same 1550.
I had it
What
all.
was your answer though?
Kofi and
Oh shit!
Who was the other one? He got it wrong.
I didn't know the other one.
I had a.
I had 100 on it. I had 100 on
so
it.
full of shit.
I swear to God. I thought you got it right. That's why I said 1550. I was
I
just
had
going to mimic that.
Kofi and Brock for
great.
3,500.
What is that sound?
Oh, we just lost To to the floor, everybody.
Oh,
He's down.
sometimes I
He is
wish
down.
we could have somebody come in the studio just to watch a show. Too much, man. Too fucking
I don't even know
much.
how to score this round.
I don't either.
Let's see. I'll just double Everett's score, and Tio, I'll just take 100 away. Corey's gonna win anyway.
That sounds good.
I
was
bet
it?
3,500.
It was Kofi and Lesnar.
That's what I said. Brock and Kofi for 1550.
You didn't even write a fucking answer down.
I haven't been.
Oh, that's
Been
great.
going off the honor system.
Okay, fine. I'll give you plus 100.
Yeah, okay, yeah, plus 100.
It was 1550 when I got it right. Then I thought you said it was wrong. Then it was 100.
The saddest thing you've ever seen.
2 more. Here we go.
Okay, 1650
I'm
for
just-
all the marbles.
Whatever. Here we go.
Mom Jeans is killing it.
Time!
It's
Vader! Time!
I'll go first.
I think I know this one too.
I'll bet all of it. Vader and Demolition. Got it.
Fall brawl.
Yes, Fall Brawl.
That wasn't Vader. That wasn't Vader and Demolition. Jesus.
It's not?
Christ.
No. It was,
Do you think that's what it was?
No, I had Vader and Diesel. No?
it was Vader and Demolition.
Oh, damn. Well, I had 100% on that one, so I'm
You
gone.
can tell me that 100%. 3,500 Vader and Demolition.
That's fine. Last one.
What, he
Okay,
can bet
so-
3,500 and I can't? That's a difference.
What are you at, Corey?
A lot fucking more than
I
you.
got 3,300. What do you have?
He's probably in the like 7,000s.
No, I should be more than that.
Fuck you. You don't have more than that.
All right.
9,000?
Bet all of it, pussy.
Last one.
Bet all of it.
Last one.
I should have 9,000.
Bet all
right?
of it. Bet all of
What
it.
was your last wager?
Bet all of it.
3,500?
Bet all of it.
Bet all of it.
Bet all of it, Corey.
8,800.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, bet it. Bet all of it and see how you do. Don't you want to walk out here with like 17,000 something? Bet it all, bitch.
Here we go.
Bet it, Corey. Do it. Oh yeah, here we go. Bet it all.
Dead man walking.
I don't know. This song sucks ass. Whatever it is.
We just had to name that song?
Huh?
There were 2 songs in that?
Yeah.
You need to play it again, sir.
Yeah, you got to play that again. I can't
Really?
hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I only heard one too.
Dead man walking.
I think I know this.
I'll let play a little further.
Trick question, Corey. I hope you bet it all. Bitch.
Who goes first here?
Corey goes first. I hope you bet it all.
Skip.
Pass.
Come back to me.
Yeah, play it in your head. It's not getting any easier.
Undertaker and Kane, I couldn't pull it out.
How much did you wager?
$4.
You pussy.
$4.
Nice. It was good thinking.
Such a bitch move.
I thought you were gonna give me a heart. I couldn't find the tune in my head.
Hold on.
It's Undertaker and Undertaker. It was two of his songs.
No.
3,300.
No, it's not. No.
Trick question.
E.
So I
Hey,
had
Shazam said it was.
Oh, it's the fucking Rock.
Yes.
Yeah, that's not what I had.
Fuck you, Shazam. Shazam said it was the Undertaker.
That was one of my answers. I was like, is that two different
Well, it's a
Undertakers?
dead man wink at the beginning.
I couldn't even hear the Rock there. I was trying to figure it out.
It's the
Very beginning.
very
isn't it?
background, like
Does it
synth,
sound like whatever the fuck that is in our headphones?
like the synth
I don't hear nothing. You guys got weird sound
piano
over
or
there?
whatever it is, and then like the guitar coming in.
Yeah, man, that was brutal.
So who
I
won?
thought that would be the.
Thank God for Double Jeopardy.
I actually thought that was the easiest one.
Oh, I couldn't pick up the Rock.
I'm signing out.
See you, T.O. It's been nice.
Lost again.
Nice having you.
Here, I'll replay it and
See you later, buddy.
tell you when it comes in.
I'll see you.
Dead man walking.
I picked it up. I just couldn't think of where it was coming from. Yeah. That Undertaker playing over the top of that was brutal. Jesus. Okay.
That's it.
Well, that was fun. I won.
You saw that coming. What are we doing next week?
It's a new game called I Win.
I like it.
What
I
you
want to
guys-
play next week.
What you guys want to do next week?
I don't know, man. That's a good one. We could do. If we did heel turns.
Yeah, we've done that.
Damn, that was a good one.
I was gonna.
What about surprising company moves? Like whenever one wrestler moves to the next company that surprises. Like when Hogan moved. Whenever Hart moved or anything like that. Whenever you didn't see it coming.
We should come up with another topic like this where we just
Yeah.
went back and forth.
Yeah.
And it didn't require a whole lot of
research.
homework.
I was gonna say I got one that kind of requires homework, but alternate gimmicks. People who what our favorite people who had alternate gimmicks and what our favorite versions of them were. Like Mark Marrow and Johnny B. Bad, for instance.
Terrorizing.
Terrorizing Triple H.
What's Eric's favorite's gonna be?
I don't have a clue.
He doesn't know that Papa Shango and the Godfather are the same guy.
No, that'd be another surprise, even though he's been told that like 3 times. We should get him with that same fact every week. See how long it takes.
Did you know that Marcus Alexander Bagwell and Buff Bagwell
Fuck you.
are the same guy?
Wait a minute. Was Judy Bagwell also Buff Bagwell?
Oh no. Scott Steiner is Big Papa Pump.
He's not Rick Steiner too?
Fuck you.
All right, guys. Great show.
We don't know what we're gonna do next week. It'll be a surprise to all of us.
Mike Awesome. Fat chick. I can't even say it right.
Fat Chick Thriller.
Oh, man. WCW really knew how to work a guy, huh?
Oof. Well, we've lost 2. This is what happens when you do 2-hour shows, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, you can only commit for so long.
Yeah, especially if you're T.O.
Indeed. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to the Three Horsemen podcast. You can find us online. I'm taking Corey's job at the3horsemenshow.com. Check out Yo Radio, which is a great online streaming radio app. You can find that at the3horsemenshow.com/Yo Radio or yoradio.com. If you use the first link, we get a little bit of credit because we're tracking how many times people from our show go to Yo Radio.
And go to Surreal Talk and check out the YouTube page. Click on Most Viewed, and you will find me in the top 2. So
You on both the top 2?
I'm pretty sure.
So it was Benoit and the West Memphis 3?
Yeah.
They love those true crimers.
What did I tell you?
They love true crime. What can I say?
Might as
No
well let
counting for
me produce your guys' show.
That's fine. You can, in fact, take over.
I will fucking just get you guys ratings.
I'm sure Cromer will love it.
Oh, he'd kill us.
Indeed. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'll catch you guys next week.
We're getting out of here for T.O., for Big Easy, for Alex, for Eric, for me. That's a lot of people in Three Horsemen. We'll talk to you guys next week.
And the record is clear. I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream. Thanks for stopping by, Mom Jeans. You were the best person in the chat today by default, unfortunately.
Who is Mom Jeans?
Thank you,
I don't
Mom
know.
Jeans.
Mom Jeans, if you could send a self-addressed stamped envelope to, we will send you an autograph.
Dial
I'm
1-800.
broken up, baby. Send me all your cards and letters, baby.
Oh Lord.
Just dial 1-800-909-9900.
Oh. Baby. Yeah.
Baby.
Magnum TA's laid up in the hospital, baby.
Babies.
Need all your cards and letters, baby.
All right, all right. At the risk of ruining everything, I'm going to stop the stream. We'll catch you all next week.
Bye, folks.
See ya.